So you think you know Sonoma County? Well, think again. Most buyers get blindsided by 50-degree temperature swings, insurance bills that triple overnight, and the truth about what really drives the economy. So today I'm exposing the 6 myths that cost buyers thousands of dollars and could derail your wine country dream. So myth 1. It's all about the wine. When most people think about Sonoma County, they imagine endless vineyards stretching across the land as far as the eye can see. But here's the truth, that picture's wrong. Vineyards only cover actually about 6% of Sonoma County's 1 million acres. That's all. This is one of the biggest myths I run into with clients. People believe Sonoma County is only about wine and wineries. And the reality is very different. People believe that Sonoma County is only about wine and about wineries, but the reality is very different. So let's look at the facts. Out of all the land here, only a tiny slice is planted to vineyards. The rest is redwood forests, farmland, rolling hills, rivers, mountains, and a stunning coastline. When I drive clients around, they're shocked at how much variety there is. They expect grapes everywhere, and instead they just see how diverse the landscape really is. And while wine is important, it's not the only piece of our economy. The wine industry supports about 1 in 4 jobs here, or 25%. That means 3 out of 4 jobs are in other industries, whether that's healthcare, education, technology, manufacturing, and agriculture beyond grapes. I mean, all of these are part of the overall picture. And people who move here are often surprised about how many options they have for work. I mean, here's one example. IT is a small share of jobs, only about 2%, but it produces 6% of Sonoma County's economic output. And I've helped tech professionals who thought they would have to keep commuting to San Francisco, and they were relieved to learn they could actually keep working in their field while living right here. And this will be important when we talk about affordability later on, because jobs and income levels tie directly into how competitive the housing market really is. The truth is that Sonoma County is a growing tech presence, and plenty of professionals find really great opportunities right here in Sonoma County. For many, that means keeping their career path while enjoying a much shorter commute. And let's face it, a better lifestyle that comes with living in wine country. I mean, from my experience working with tons of families, I've seen how this mix of industries adds stability to the overall economy. When one sector slows down, the others keep moving. That balance is good for workers. It's also good for homeowners and investors. It means the housing market isn't tied to the rise and fall of a single industry. That makes it more steady than some people expect. So yes, we have world-class wineries and vineyards, but Sonoma County is much, much more than that. And if you thought the wine story was surprising, wait until you hear how using an out-of-town real estate agent can hurt your chances of getting the home that you want. The next myth is using an out-of-town agent really as good as using a local agent, or does it matter? But before we dive into the next myth, hit that subscribe button. This channel is where I pull back the curtain on living in Sonoma. We talk about the weather swings, the hidden costs, the insider wins. If you're serious about making a smart move here, you don't want to miss what's coming in my future videos. So many buyers believe this myth, and it's one of the most damaging ones I see. They think an out-of-town agent who lives in the East Bay can handle Sonoma County just as well as a local agent. Well, the truth, that belief can cost you the home you want. I know it from being a listing agent representing sellers all the time. When I see an offer come in from an out-of-town agent, particularly on a rural property, I'll immediately be slightly skeptical. Why? Because I know it can create problems, and I've seen it time and time again. In a competitive market like ours, even small problems can decide whether you win or lose a house. And here's what makes Sonoma different. This market, as with many markets, does run on relationships. Agents here know each other. They've worked together for years. They know who they can trust to get a deal closed. And when 2 offers look the same on paper, the listing agent, and I know I've done it, will often lead towards the local agent because they know we'll be able to get the deal done and handle things smoothly. In competitive situations, 2 offers can look nearly identical on paper. Same price, same terms, but in Sonoma County, the deciding factor often comes down to trust. Local listing agents, we all lean towards working professionals they know will keep the process smooth and get the deal closed without any problems. And that kind of reputation is built over years, and it's something out-of-town agents just can't easily bring to the table. But it's not just about relationships. Out-of-town agents often don't understand how Sonoma County works. I mean, every county does things a little differently. Our market's got its own customs for inspections and disclosures. These can be very different from what you find in San Francisco or Sacramento or Marin. And many areas here require specialized inspections. It might be for a well or a septic system or a fire inspection. An out-of-town agent may not know that. I've seen deals fall apart because the agent missed a required inspection or didn't schedule it in time or didn't realize that it can take 3 weeks to get a septic inspection. And don't worry, we'll get to why these inspections matter a bit more in a minute. Local knowledge is also about lifestyle. It's not just about knowing which neighborhoods look nice on paper. It's knowing which areas get the morning fog, which parts have got the school options for families, and which towns have the most active community events. And here's an example: living on the west side of Sebastopol versus living on the east side of Sebastopol can offer very different experiences and very different sort of microclimates, even though they're only a few miles apart. If you don't know these differences, you could end up in a place that doesn't just fit with what you're looking for. And after the purchase, local agents will also give you a ready-made network. So when you buy through me, you get access to contractors, architects, landscapers, designers, and then not to mention all the inspectors who know us and we trust. That saves you time and stress, and not to mention money when it comes to making the decision and settling in. So let's make it simple. Local relationships give you an edge in a multiple offer situation, there's no question. So local knowledge keeps the deal from falling apart, and also making sure you make the right offer in the first place. And then local networks will help you long after you close. An out-of-town agent just can't offer that. And this is why choosing an out-of-town agent in Sonoma County isn't just risky, it can cost you the very home you're chasing, and it can cost you thousands of dollars. Now, having the right agent isn't just about relationships, it also ties into something most people get completely wrong about Sonoma County, and that's the weather. So let's dive into that. A lot of people think that Sonoma County's got the perfect California weather all year round. Sunny days, cool nights, always comfortable. But that's not how it works here. The truth is the weather in Sonoma County can change more than almost anywhere else in California. And I'm not talking about a small shift. For example, on a single summer day, the coast at Bodega Bay might be, 58 degrees and foggy, while inland areas like Kenwood or Santa Rosa could be 100 degrees. Same county, same day, a 50-degree difference. I mean, that's crazy, but that is Sonoma County. The reason is microclimates. Sonoma County's got 3 main ones. The marine zone includes our coastal towns. These areas stay cool and moderate because of the ocean influence. If you want mild temperatures, then this is definitely the spot. But if you move inland a little bit and you hit the coastal cool zone, this area gets warmer but still benefits from that cooling air that drifts in from the coast. I mean, people sometimes call this the Goldilocks zone because it's not too hot and also not too cold. A really nice sort of happy medium. Then there's the coastal warm zone. This covers the eastern valleys. I mean, it gets much hotter here, making it perfect for heat-loving plants and for people who enjoy warm, dry summers. And the fog makes everything even more complex because when fog rolls in from the coast, it can lower the temperature by as much as 50 degrees compared to areas just a few miles away. I mean, that's why some towns feel like they have built-in natural air conditioning. I mean, I know it sounds funny, but it's true, while others stay sunny and hot. And here's another fact that a lot of people don't realize. Fog has declined by about 30% since the 1900s, and this change is already shifting how crops grow and how energy is used, and how comfortable certain areas feel to live. So now, why does this matter for home buyers? Well, because your daily life and your costs depend on it. If you love gardening, some plants thrive in one area but won't survive in another. Heating and cooling bills can be very different depending on what zone you're in. Even your lifestyle is shaped by the microclimate. In some areas, you can dine outdoors almost year-round. In others, you'll need to adjust to fog or extreme heat. I mean, I've worked with clients who started off and they came in and they wanted to be in the warmer valleys, but after spending some time there during a summer heat wave, they realized to be more comfortable in the slightly more western part of the county. But equally, I've had people who think, oh, I really want to live in Petaluma, but then when they understand that actually dining out in the evening during the summer is a relatively rare event, then they've completely changed their mind. I've also had the opposite happen. The bottom line is this: Sonoma County doesn't have one consistent climate. It's a patchwork of different microclimates, each with its own character. And if you don't take that into account before you buy, you could end up with higher bills or a lifestyle that just simply doesn't fit what you wanted. And this leads to one of the biggest myths of all, that living in Sonoma County automatically means saving money compared to the Bay Area. I mean, let you tell me why that's not the full story. Many people moving from San Francisco or Silicon Valley believe Sonoma County will be much cheaper and they expect big savings. And while homes here do cost less than in San Francisco, the story is not quite as simple as that. Let's start with the numbers. In July of this year, the median home price in Sonoma County was around $800,000. And that's a lot less than San Francisco, where the median price is over $1.4 million. But it's still 81% higher than the national median. So while Sonoma looks cheaper compared to San Francisco, it's still one of the more expensive markets in the United States, but then everywhere in California is more expensive than the rest of the United States. And it's not just the cost to buy a home. Living here requires a good income, and the income needed to qualify for a mortgage on a mid-tier Sonoma County home is about $237,000, more than twice the county's median household income. And those figures include housing, childcare, transportation, healthcare, and other base expenses. And it's why only about 18% of households can afford the median priced home today. And then property taxes are also a surprise to many buyers. The average rate is, just under 1.25% of the purchase price. So on a median priced home, that's around $10,000 annually. And if you're moving from a state with lower property taxes, that's a big adjustment. But there are some positives. Food costs in Sonoma County are roughly 11% below the average, thanks to local farms and strong agriculture. Families also save on commuting. Average drive times here are 5 minutes shorter than the Bay Area for sure. And entertainment often happens outdoors, at parks, beaches and trails. And some buyers come in expecting Sonoma home prices to be far lower than what they see. At first that can feel disappointing, but when you add up the savings, shorter commutes, lower childcare costs and fewer city convenience fees, many realise that the overall budget actually stretches a lot further here than in other areas of the Bay Area. That's the key takeaway. Sonoma County is more affordable than San Francisco or Silicon Valley, but don't make the mistake that it's cheap living. This is still a premium market and you'll want to plan carefully. And before we get into the comparison with Napa, this is where most people get tripped up. They think Sonoma is just Napa's little sibling, but that assumption couldn't be further from the truth. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Sonoma is just a smaller version of Napa, or not as good wine as Napa. This is one of the myths I hear time and time again, especially from out-of-state buyers who love Napa. So let's start with size. Sonoma County is almost twice as large as Napa. That difference in scale changes everything. The geography, the lifestyle, even how communities feel. Drive across Sonoma and you'll see redwood forests, rugged coastline, open farmland, rolling hills, and dozens of unique towns. Napa's beautiful, but it's compact. Sonoma's wide, varied, and spread out, as well as being diverse. And wine production tells another story. Sonoma produces about 6% of all California wine, making it the largest producer in Northern California. Napa may be the name everyone knows, but Sonoma actually outproduces it. And stick with me, right? Because right in the next myth, you'll see how Sonoma's bigger, more spread out footprint also makes a difference in how risk and coverage play out. Then there's the layout of the wineries. Sonoma County's got more than 425 wineries spread across 19 AVAs, and each AVA has got its own soils and climate and its own personality. Napa's got about 475 wineries, but they're much more packed into a smaller area. That's why Napa often feels a lot more crowded, especially during peak season, while Sonoma's got plenty of space even when it's busy. And here's a fact most people don't know. Sonoma County's got more soil types than the whole of France, allowing more than 60 different grape varietals to thrive here. Napa, on the other hand, focuses heavily on Cabernet and a handful of other varietals. So if you love variety in your wine, Sonoma's definitely the better choice. But the differences go beyond wine. The lifestyle is not the same. Sonoma tends to feel more relaxed and probably less commercial. Communities here are still connected to their agricultural roots and working class history. Napa has shifted more towards the luxury and high-end branding, I mean, both offer something special, but they're very different experiences. Many buyers start out convinced that Napa's the obvious choice. It's the name they know. But once people compare the two, Sonoma's diversity does really stand out, and the coastline, the redwoods, the authentic small towns, and places like Healdsburg that blend world-class food and wine with a true neighborhood feel. That comparison often shifts plans towards Sonoma. So no, Sonoma isn't just Napa's smaller version. It's bigger, it's more varied. In many ways, it's a lot more balanced. And balance matters a lot when we talk about one of the most important issues buyers face right now, and that's the cost of wildfire insurance. Another myth I hear is, oh, it must be impossible to insure a home here. And this is one of the most dangerous myths, because you can definitely still get home insurance here. But the difference is, it'll probably cost you maybe more than you're anticipating. I mean, many people still think wildfire insurance is just a small expense on top of their mortgage, but that's not true. I mean, that was true a few years ago, but today, insurance can definitely change how you think about the type of home that you want to purchase. And rates have gone up sharply. All across California, major carriers have raised their premiums. But it's still possible and pretty easy to get insurance. It will just cost you more money. And in Sonoma County, the increases have definitely been significant, but equally they've been significant in Marin, in Santa Cruz, as well as all across the South Bay. And there's definitely cases of where homeowners have seen insurance hikes of 100%. That's a lot. I mean, that's doubling your insurance from one year to the next. And it might happen, in a couple of years running. So that is a significant cost. And the other thing that happens is, it's never a good time. These hikes often happen when policies renew. So you might buy a home with insurance you can handle 1 year, but then the next year when you come to renew it, the cost doubles. And about 2,000 homeowners in Sonoma County will see their rates reset next year. So it's not like they reset and then that's it. I mean, the costs aren't the same everywhere for sure. Homes in high fire risk zones pay a lot more. That means hillside properties, if you're at the top of a ridge, if you're in a wooded area, if you've got a single track road up to the top of a ridge, or homes that are far away from fire stations, all of these factors play into the cost of getting home insurance. But even places that used to be considered safe are seeing big hikes. In one case, a home east of Windsor carried a premium of $3,000, and then 9 months later, the renewal came in at $8,000, forcing a major rethink from the homeowners. When we talked earlier about affordability, this is exactly the kind of hidden cost that explains why only 18% of Sonoma households can actually afford a median-priced home here. And sometimes, even if you're ready to pay more, you can't get the coverage that you want. I mean, carriers like State Farm and Allstate have paused policies in this area. And there are definitely some carriers that have pulled out of this area entirely, such as Allstate. And insurance isn't just about premiums. Many carriers now require home hardening before they'll actually write a policy, which in essence means making a few improvements to the home, whether it's adding a whole house shut-off valve for gas or water. There are some improvements that can definitely help you get insurance. And then some neighborhoods are actually working together through what's called the Firewise program. And these groups organize neighborhoods to clear brush, improve safety, and plan evacuations. I mean, being part of a Firewise community can sometimes help with getting coverage, or it certainly lower the costs, depending on the insurer. So areas around Sebastopol, Santa Rosa, and Healdsburg have all got really active programs right now. The bottom line is this: you can still get wildfire insurance, it will just cost you a bit more, and it can be unpredictable and harder to get, particularly if you're not purchasing a primary home. The smart move is to treat it as a key part of your buying plan, not a detail to worry about later. Many of my clients now add insurance contingencies into their offers. I mean, that way, if the quotes come back too high, they can walk away without being locked into a deal that will break their budget. Or what we do with a lot of clients is actually, we'll get a quote even before we offer, just so that clients know exactly what they're going into it with. So those are the 6 biggest myths about Sonoma County and the truth behind them. We've talked about how it's not just about wine, why having a local agent can make such a difference, how the weather can swing a huge amount in a single day, and why affordability isn't as simple as comparing us to the Bay Area, and how Sonoma stacks up against Napa, as well as the real story on wildfire insurance. And here's what I want you to take away. None of this makes Sonoma less attractive. It makes it better, because When you have the facts, you can make smarter choices. You'll know where to focus, you'll know how to plan, and you'll have a much better chance of ending up in a home and an area, as well as a community that actually fits your lifestyle as well as your budget. After years of helping families buy and sell here, I can tell you this, Sonoma County is extraordinary. People fall in love with it because of its diversity, because of the diversity of landscapes, because of the neighborhoods and the lifestyles. You might want the energy of a downtown square or the peace of a quiet rural road or something in between. You can find it all here, and you can find it in spades. But you'll only find out the right fit if you're working with the truth, not with myths. So that's where me and my team come in. We've guided tons of families through this process. People who've relocated from the Bay Area as well as relocating from the other side of the country. We know the small details that make a big difference, the microclimates, the market cycles, the quirks of each neighborhood, and even the contractors or inspectors you'll want in your corner. Our job is to give you the local knowledge that turns what could be a stressful process into a confident one. So if you're thinking about making Sonoma County your home, or if it's time to sell and start your next chapter, I'd love to help you make that move with clarity and with confidence. So send me an email at david@BruingtonHargreaves.com and let's talk about your goals. Let's talk about your timeline and the strategy that will work best for you. When you're ready for local expertise and a trusted partner in the process, I'm definitely here. And if you want more insight into what life is like here, then subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'll share updates, community spotlights, and insider tips you won't find anywhere else. In fact, my next video is about the 5 areas in Sonoma County that will boom over the next 10 years, and you won't want to miss it. Thanks for watching. Until next time, go well.